So I think if there's any group I hate more on earth, even probably more than lefties, it's the flat earthers. I was just having my 500th argument with one of these morons, but I was looking at all the flat earth little models and just debunking their crap, which isn't hard. I mean, here I've got all kinds of pages open for these idiots. But anyway, and I'm looking at their maps. Their maps don't even jive with each other, is the funny part. If you look, here's a map that shows this is their representation, okay? And you notice how, like, the light from the sun is similar to a flashlight, which is what you'd expect, or a light bulb. Big old circle, and the sun moves around or whatever. Now, here's an app you can buy. They've got a Terminator here. They've got it flattened out, which this shadow could not even happen if you had it even inside of a little dome, if you had a light source like that. Things that just can't happen. The stars are totally laughable to me, because here's the problem that you've got. Here are the constellations of the sky represented underneath the firmament, which is this, I don't know what the hell it is, a big plastic dome. Who put it there? Why? God built a dome. That part is just asinine anyway. Whatever the firmament is, okay? They take one passage from the Bible where people didn't know what the sky was, and then they turn it into this bona fide thing. So we live in this big fishbowl, right? So we're in the big snow globe, and the problem is, here's the sun. I get, well, must be the sun, this must be the moon. So here's the sun, and here's the problem. The problem that you're going to have, two problems, actually. One is line of sight. So you're here. Okay, you're in, this is what, Australia? No, it's okay, no, it's Africa. So South America. Okay, so we got South America. And you can supposedly not see the sun. Now, the sun's way high in the sky. This is called line of sight. Okay? You can't see the sun because it goes so far away you can't see it. Which, we all know that that's bullshit, because if you look at a star in the sky that's many, many millions of light years away, you can see it. Okay, so things just can't go far enough away that you can't see light. Light will eventually reach you. All right, that's just the property of light. It doesn't matter. It may not be a light source, like a flashlight or whatever, that if you go far enough away, maybe there isn't enough lumens or whatever it is to it. But we're talking stars in the sun or whatever. We're talking something that's bright enough to light a huge surface of the planet. But supposedly, when it gets way over to the edge, these people aren't going to be able to see it. So that's the first problem, is line of sight. Second problem is the stars. If you can't see the sun, how do you see the stars that go all the way to the horizon? That's a problem. Because, hello, if the sun can go so far away you can't see the light from it anymore, then these little twinkly things that you claim aren't stars, they're little just dots of light, but you can still see those. And what about meteors? What about asteroids, comets, things like that? Were there so many grains of whatever a meteor is supposed to be in this little fantasy that they could just keep falling? Because they've been doing it for millions of years. Wouldn't you finally run out? Is that pieces of the firmament falling off? What are meteors? When you see a great big chunk of rock and it makes a big impact crater like the one in Arizona, how in the world do you justify it? Was there a big old rock up here just floating around that decided it was tired? Is that what happens? What about air travel? Let's talk about air travel. Okay, here, right in here is roughly LA. I don't see the smoke, but it's in here somewhere. Now, you're going to fly to Japan, right? Out across the Pacific Ocean, or India, or any of these places. Yet you fly out over Hawaii and come all the way around to Japan while you're flying. Now, do airlines do this to keep up the deception? Is that what's going on? Because, hello, wouldn't you just fly over Alaska straight to Japan? Wouldn't an airline just go, well, it's really just closer. It's here. Why would you take this, 10, 14 hours, whatever the hell it takes to fly across the Pacific Ocean? Which is just a mud puddle here, obviously, because whatever. I mean, here, it would be a bitch to fly, I would say, if you're going to fly from Australia to Madagascar or whatever. Wouldn't that would be, or South Africa, that'd be a real bitch. That's a worse flight. So you mean to tell me that when you hop on a plane and you fly all the way to, from Australia to South Africa or whatever, that, yeah, okay, maybe that's what happened to the Malaysia flight. They just kept flying. They didn't realize it was actually 10 times as far to fly across here than it was. But anyway, these idiots, their maps don't even jive. That's what's the funny part about it. If you look here, there's another, the one I just showed you obviously has the conventional setup. Yeah, it's got the, just our map. But here, there's more. Yeah, there's more. You've got a whole different continent outside. See, you've got the ice wall, but then there's a mysterious land on the outside and more ice. And then even another land, a magical land of more imagination on the outside. Now, here's the problem. Okay, so the sun's up here. We'll just pretend the cursor is the sun here. And it's supposedly just going around and around. It's going around day and night, day and night, day and night. Okay, well, all right, now here's my question. Ice is formed by what? There's no proximity to the sun, right? The further away you are from the sun, the colder it is, and it makes ice. So here's the sun. So are there more suns? Because see, this sun right here didn't get the job done, okay? And it made ice because it went around and around and around in its little circle. So everything way out away from it froze. But now you've got this magical land on the other side. Then all of a sudden now, what do they have, a second sun? Is that how it works? And this sun must be a different thing. This sun just goes in one circle, right? Because it's got to keep this cold and this cold. It's got to keep both ice walls. So this sun must travel in the middle, I guess, or something. I don't know. Haven't got that one figured out, okay? But there's all kinds. The walls of Asgard, that's where Thor lives, and the Rainbow Bridge. Yeah, I've seen the Avengers. But anyway. And then there's two other things, just two more things. One of them is seasons, okay? We all know in the summer, it's warm in the northern hemisphere, and places down below are cold. That's their winter, and then it flip-flops. That cannot happen. No, I'm sorry, girls. That can't happen with this because the sun just keeps going around and around and around and just heating equally the same. Doesn't change anything. It wouldn't change the temperatures. We wouldn't have seasons. We wouldn't have longer and shorter days because the sun is just going around and around and around. They don't compensate for that at all. And they don't tell you how in the world the sun changes and affects the seasons. It would have to change its orbit in some kind of a weird geometry, a weird configuration, which would not give you 24-hour days and impact the length of the day and the weather like they want it to. They can't figure any of this out. That's how just stupid these people are. And the last thing is the changing of the constellations. Okay, you've got these static constellations and they're going around and around in a circle. Well, if that was the case, you would have the same stars every single night. And even if you altered it, you would just have a timing of them be a little different, but they wouldn't be a different group of stars altogether, which we know because you can go out and you can see Orion and Orion's belt. That's a familiar one to people. That one you can see in the winter months, but it's gone in the summer and it doesn't come back. Well, if Orion, they just have, these are arbitrary constellations. They're not the real deal, but just pretend this is Orion. It's not, but whatever. Pretend this is Orion in here. Actually, these might be legit constellations. Orion, I think they moved him way far away, but whatever, because there's some that I reckon a Pisces, whatever's here. Yeah, Cephas is here. This is Scorpius, not Scorpio. Scorpio is a zodiac sign. This is the constellation Scorpius. So over here would have to be, somewhere would be Orion. But anyway, so if Orion's here, nerding up on you, sorry. I get this stuff I love this crap. So anyway, so Orion is somewhere in here. If Orion just keeps going around and around, the star pattern would have to stop or do some kind of shift so that you could not see it in America for half of the year. We know why it happens is this, because I drew a little handy thing right here. So we'll save that. No, do not make fun of me, astronomy guys. I know the sun is really white. It's not yellow. I drew it yellow for the layman, all right? At one time of the year, the Earth is on this side of the sun while it's making its orbit going around and around and around. So when you're looking out into the night sky, you see these stars at night. You can't see these in the daytime because the sun is in the way. That's right. When you're looking at the sun, it's daytime. So these stars you can't see. When the Earth swings all the way around the other part of the year, the sun, you're looking at the sun, these stars that were in the night sky are now invisible. These stars are now visible because guess what? There's no sun in the way. That's right. You're looking at night here. You're looking in this direction, night there, depending on which part of the sun you're at. So there you go. There's your astronomy lesson. They do not adjust for this, compensate, explain it in any way, and it cannot be explained from one of these stupid things. But anyway, there you go. There's 11 minutes of debunking flat Earth with just using your brain. It's not even, it's just simple basic shit. And these guys will get on talk shows and talk and show their charts and all of that crap. Oh my God, makes my head want to explode. But I don't know. I guess the world needs mouth breathers too.